Thank you, Petra and Chateau. While you're getting the microphone, just one little thing. In Italian we say vi dovremmo tirare le orecchie in terms of scheduling, because you always complain with Italians about being late. We decided 20, the organizing committee was very rigid about, actually flexible, rigid, give you the richness of 20 minutes presentation, 10 minutes questions, and 10 extra minutes. If you look at the program, you will notice that. 10 extra minutes to move around. Move around means just 3 meters far away, except for Caldora. So maybe the presentations were longer than 20 minutes if you had no time to ask questions and interact. Anyway, Anshata.
Sì, sono francese, professoressa di inglese, ma è difficile di parlare in many languages. No, I just want to answer Sabina and Johannes, because I have tried in the past to have presentations in CercleS conference in 2 languages. Usually I had my slides in English and then I was speaking in French. I'm not sure I've tried the other way around, but anyway, yesterday I had prepared my slides for the focus group on autonomy in English, and I asked the people in the room, but unfortunately the only language we had in common was English, so we spoke English, and I guess that's the reality, even though, as our keynote speaker said yesterday, of course, I would say the research we talk about in a language that is not ours is probably poorer than it would be if we all had the same language, but that's the reality. And the second thing I wanted to say to Johannes Fischer is that the problem is not, well, the problem is of course the needs of the learners, but we can think in terms of much further needs, I mean in terms of long life needs, because we all know that our learners will one day go out of university, of school and so on, and they will still need to be able to learn languages or to practice languages or to train in the languages that they learned at school, at university. So autonomy is not a question of, it's not leaving people alone, it's giving people the tools necessary for them to continue learning languages after they leave our institutions. And autonomy doesn't mean at all being alone. Nobody, I mean, even the people who gave the first definitions of autonomy never said that you couldn't have peers, you couldn't speak with native speakers, you couldn't have social environment and so on. And the idea of the focus group of autonomy is to try and gather all the practices from the different people in different countries, in different institutions, and try and find the common ground so as to perhaps disseminate these notions, which apparently is difficult to explain when you've not lived it or practiced it or tried it with your students.
Grazie Anna. C'è Tony, poi Manuel, e poi Mario. Non ce lo dimentichiamo, se no perdiamo Mario. Non vogliamo.
Hello. Just a word about teacher training, because the debate so far, it seems to me, has concentrated largely on teaching and learning, and we haven't talked much about teacher training. For me, over my career, teacher training has been the last bastion of conservatism. It's basically bilingual in much of Europe. Once you learn 2 languages and are fluent in 2 languages, that's enough, you're a qualified teacher. No, I don't agree with that. But where do we need to go? Do our teachers need to speak 5 languages? I think that's just unrealistic. It's not going to happen. It's expensive. So what's the solution? What's the compromise solution? Well, I've been arguing for a long time that what we need to do is train ourselves in interference problems. That is, each national association should look at interference problems generated by its own language when people speak other languages, and create tools which will help us understand what interference is and help us understand how to remove and inhibit interference. So that's a national association challenge, and I think one of the greatest things that we do is help teacher training move forward by producing manuals on interference from mother tongue problems. Thank you.
Just two comments. One comment on the question of multilingual competence. It's true, not easy. Because I can start speaking Portuguese, we don't understand anything, and Liliana will speak Polish and so on. It's not not so far. But I think we can try to be trilingual, or I don't know, but use different languages, as they do in Luxembourg, for example, as they do in Switzerland and so on. And a lot of employers ask universities to prepare, some surveys in the European level, to prepare students of different careers, of different subjects, to have a multilingual competence. That means, for example, to be able to read a report in French and to make the presentation in German. And this is, and we again speaking about magic, but Estelle and Jerome supervise the preparation of scenarios and of materials, of case studies of this example. They are available, and our students are asking to be, by the world of work, to be multilingual, not to be monolingual. I don't apologize, that's the reality. Because an employer will not have someone for French, someone for Spanish, someone for German. Someone will be able to have different competences in different languages. We agree. I can write in one language, can write in another language, can business in another, and so on. This is a need of society. And not just one comment on the question of autonomy. I'm not a specialist at all in autonomy, but I'm very, very skeptical about autonomy. I always make the link between these all new ideas about autonomy and the industrial financial of certification. I'm not talking about the research on autonomy and the concept you develop on autonomy. That means prepare people to be to learn during their life and so on. But in some case, what I see is our bosses say, yes, but it's an autonomy, so you don't need to have a professor. You just need to have an exam by the hand. And this is also the reality. And this is also a way to feed the industrial of certification and of exams. Because there is an industry of exams. They are not university trackers. They want to make profit. So I take care about this concept, myself.
Thank you, Manuel. One more and then we stop, otherwise poor Mario, we lose Mario. It's not a long video, but it is an intense video. So one more, please. Then Mario, then just a few words on proceedings.
And then gifts.
Okay. I'm Natalia Flexler from Germany, and first of all I'd like to say a few words of thank you for a very nice atmosphere, for a creative atmosphere, a really, really warm atmosphere at the conference, and also a suggestion. I'll be short. In my opinion, it would be a good idea. Perhaps it's been done already, but I'm for the first time here, then just tell me. We are getting more and more exposed to different cultures, and these cultures are in the classroom. And how to deal with their Afghanis? What would be appropriate behavior on the part of the teacher towards, Syrians? Or probably my students are from Brazil. So that's what I have. That's what I have in my classrooms. But probably it would be a very useful exchange of opinions if we collected this information. Some kind of database, some kind of information about this, so that, I know there is some part of a website with some hints. Better avoided, tips, whatever. So, it would be very, very helpful, because we are getting this information, well, I think probably each of us, but probably it could be a good idea if we could really read it somewhere. That's my hope. Thank you.
Thank you. No, okay, one more. But the final one. Okay, thanks for...
Following up on that,
1 minute.
might the people from King's College be interested in running a little workshop for us the next time?
I suggested a focus group, didn't I?
You did, yeah. But in addition to the focus group, also then a workshop for us next time.
On intercultural communication. Donata, the very last one.
No, just wanted to say yes.
He said, okay, thank you. So we'll take this. Mario?
First of all, ciao Mario. Now you are in front of me and Simone, but when we will show the video, you will be in front of so many people coming from so many European countries.
This is why I'm going to try to ignore your face and look at the camera. So it's like talking to the audience.
Okay. Now, you know that we organized 2 conferences in the past. One was in 2009, and it was a conference on creativity and innovation in language studies. And Manuel Rinvolucri was here with us.
I remember.
Then in 2012, we organized a seminar entitled European Projects in Language Centers, Creativity, Dynamics, Best Practice. And as far as I remember, you were with us again. Shortly, maybe.
No.
But you were with us in terms of, all right. Now, it's time to talk about creativity again, and we couldn't imagine to speak about creativity, reflect on creativity, and miss Mario Rinvolucri's opinions, Mario's opinions. I have some questions for you. Are you ready for them? Okay. Okay. And my first question is creativity in language classrooms. How much space do you think we give to it? And to what extent do cultural issues interfere?
I find it a difficult question to answer in a way, because creativity has to come into all teaching, really. I know that there are certain moments when you have to go through necessary boring phases, but mostly it is possible to get people practicing and teach and inform them in ways which keep them fully energized. Of course, it depends on the size of the group, and I know that in Conceição, certainly in the past, you used to have very big groups of 100, and that makes it more difficult. But I think that there is a way of bringing creativity. It's a state of mind rather than a something. It's a how rather than a what.
It's a how rather than a what. In what sense?
It depends a lot on whether you trust in the imagination and the creativity of the students. And if you actually know internally, they will come up with the goods if you give them a frame which allows them to be creative. Can I give you an example?
Yeah.
Supposing you have a group of people who are studying natural sciences, and you come in with a beautiful, enormous picture of Darwin, Charles Darwin, on a big screen at the front of the hall, even if it's 200 people. You then say to the students, I'm going to ask a few questions about this man. And then you pose a number of questions. I wonder if his relationship to his wife was a very difficult one. I wonder if his interest in pigeons was particular for some particular reason. I wonder if, etc. And then But that is a frame for getting you to think about that great man's life in reality, but using an imaginative frame to get it going. So that would be an example.
Okay. An example of the how.
An example of working within the subject matter, faithfully in the area of the natural sciences, because the students need that. They need it to feel serious, but at the same time, allowing them to be full-blooded, creative human beings.
Thank you, Mario. You started off with a very practical example, which is typical of you, typical of your personality, typical of the so many things that you carried out throughout your life. I know that you spent lots and lots of time creating activities, writing books for language teachers. If we think back, or if you think back to those books, one that I want to mention is Grammar in Action, for example, that was is so popular all around the world. But if you think of the three most creative activities you've ever created, which one do you think? Can you think of three that people around the world have always loved or loved the most?
That's a very difficult question to answer accurately, and you know it's a difficult question, because how do I know? I'm always being surprised by things that people tell me anecdotally. I wrote a book called Action Mazes, and I discovered that an action maze, a set of readings, where you had to make a decision on every page. And you had alternatives, and you had to decide between alternatives. And this was about the Entebbe raid by the Israelis when they went to liberate some of their people who had been hijacked in Entebbe. And this was being used in a Swedish military academy with officers in order to get them to think about what they would have done in that situation. And I never intended it to be for military training. But somebody decided to use it for that. So you don't know. It's really possible to know.
Incredible.
And I also wanted perhaps to question the book you chose. The book, which is very well known worldwide, is not grammar, is grammar games.
Grammar games. Okay. The grammar games.
But grammar games is the one that sold a lot.
Is there one activity that you remember in particular?
Yes, let me pick an important activity, which would be marvellous if it caught on everywhere, is the idea of mutual supervision between teachers. So, teachers meeting maybe once a week, once a fortnight, and giving each other maybe quarter of an hour each. And for if you are my supervisor in this activity, in this teacher activity, you have to listen to what I need to say about my students and the groups for a quarter of an hour. Your role is to listen as cleanly as you can. In other words, without imposing your own thoughts or your own frame on it. Really trying to understand where I am and where I'm coming from. And at the end, make one or two gentle comments, but without needing to give advice, but proving to me that you have really listened. And then we swap roles, and you do the same for me for a quarter of an hour. This is a marvellous way of allowing language teachers to unload the huge emotions that they sometimes develop while teaching. A safety valve and also a learning process. Most of the learning is within oneself, but the presence of the inverted commas supervisor is very important too. This is such a simple and easy idea that it would be marvellous if this caught on in many places. It has been tried in many places, but how long it lasts, I'm not sure. Because teachers are in a hurry, because teachers have a lot of work to do, because people have people back at home they have to go and look after. So this does take a bit of time. But I've used this in Convenors, where I used to teach.
one activity and you focused on teachers, language teachers.
Exactly.
But among, if this takes me to my next question. Among all the people you've trained around the world, who tend to be the most critical thinkers? I don't know if this is a fair question to ask, but...
It's a very, very fair question. It is a very deep question to ask a teacher trainer. Because one always wonders, okay, maybe they had a good time in this room, but what long-term effect may this have or not have? And the students that I've had, or the trainees that I've had, who have been easiest to read in terms of what they really have got from the course, have been people from the German language group.
Ah!
They tend to be people who...
German people in the audience who would be happy.
Non bisogno di fare bella figura.
No?
Don't need to show off in front of the group. They don't need to be marvellous and friendly and probe the trainer. They are themselves, usually. And therefore, if they say, that's not bad, that's about equivalent to an Italian person saying, my ottimo, it's marvellous.
Okay.
Therefore, if they say, I'm going to use that, I have a firm conviction that they do and will use it. When I'm working with people from your country, sometimes I wonder. I think, well, yes, they did have a good time. People in Italy live fantastically at the moment. But does it last? And that I can't answer.
Okay. Thank you. Now I'm moving to my next question. Moving towards younger generations. And my question is, how can an activity encourage a critical thinking in young language learners and learners in general? But let's think of young language learners, according to you.
We're talking about primary school, secondary school?
And I was probably thinking of university students. They're still young for me. But even primary is wonderful. You decide what you mean by young.
I think one of the things...
Your interpretation of young learners.
Okay. Let's take university, first year university.
Okay.
I mean, one of the things that I think is very useful is what I learned in Chile, and that was the idea of crítica de cátedra, the criticism of the teacher, or of the teaching system. And I think that to give the students in a group the power to actually state in a clear way what they are learning and what they are not learning, and how they might want the course to be modified, is a very, very powerful way of inviting them to think critically. Because you're actually stepping out of your regal or imperial role as a teacher and saying, okay, I'm a human being, I make mistakes, help me. Give me some idea of how we're going and how your learning is going. So they become conscious of this area of learning, which is language learning, but they may also transfer that then to their main subjects.
Okay.
And it shows that the teacher herself or himself already has a willingness to accept critical thought, maybe even against him or herself. And it shows a lot of confidence.
Thinking of being critical, by the way, you mentioned before teaching system. You've often been critical towards the academic world.
Absolutely.
And now, absolutely, oh my goodness. What would you change? Now you are in front of an audience where there are so many people, like me, for example, who have been working for many years within the university context. What would you change? Although, like in my case, you know, I spent so many wonderful and creative years working in schools with very young learners in their early age of learning acquisition.
I'm sad about your promotion to the university.
I know. You always told me. And this is something that I will never forget. Anyway, what would you change? or what would you appreciate, if you appreciate that, in university instruction, in particular related to language centers? Because here in the audience there are so many professionals who work in language centers.
One of the biggest question marks I have in terms of your university is that the group size is enormous. And you're asked to teach 100, 150 people.
That's right.
And that means it's very, very difficult, even with your skill, to create a very warm, safe environment for people to make fools of themselves in a foreign language. And I say make fools of themselves because many people feel that they lose dignity when they're trying to speak a foreign language. They lose that self-confidence they have in mother tongue. So I think it's very important, if it were possible organisationally, to have smaller groups.
Okay.
Now, some of the participants in your conference may, of course, have smaller groups.
Absolutely, yeah.
I know. But when I worked in language centres in UK, like I did several times in the University of Cardiff, they were talking about groups of 50. And working with 15, 20 is very different from what you were doing with your groups of 120.
Okay. Once again, this is culture bound. This is related to the university system. Your example, you touched on one of the most problematic issues in the Italian academic system. Yeah, the number.
It's because people don't realise that when you are learning a foreign language, you are learning a second personality.
Why?
Io cambio, quando parlo italiano cambio, I mean, when I change into Italian, I change. It's not my mother tongue, but it was my father's language, and I feel it into Italian. Now, in order to learn that feeling about the language, you have to be in a safe group. And 200 people, 150 people cannot, by its nature, it's a crowd. Maybe a happy crowd, but yeah.
Maybe a happy crowd. I want to stop with that. I like the idea of a happy crowd. I have one more question, and then, although you are considered one of the most influential humanist trainers, yet you love technology. How can the two things match?
Why is there a conflict?
Sometimes I have the impression that there can be a conflict.
I don't think so.
But maybe not. So now we're talking, the computer is the meeting.
The organisation I used to work for, Pilgrims, decided to have a web magazine for teachers. We were using the latest technology. We were forgetting paper. That was in the very end of the last century, in 1999. And I had to learn a few things, but it was fantastic, for example, not to have to count the number of words in an article, as you have to on paper. There are lots of advantages to being the editor of a magazine on the internet rather than on paper. Lots of advantages.
Okay.
Also, the feeling of joy of having a feature in the magazine which allows you to press a button and send an article you like to your friend.
Okay.
In the past, I used to have to photocopy the page and put it in the post. So if technology helps me to do simple things like that, I'm very, very happy.
That's right. But you are a person, yet you are a person who still, and I really appreciate it, write postcards to people like me.
Yeah, well, that's because I'm fairly old.
No. That's right.
I'm 76, so of course I'm of my generation. I can see your handwriting.
Yes, that's right. Like
you in a way that the email isn't.
Okay.
But it's okay. I'll soon be dead, so that'll be over. Finished.
Okay. Mario, Mario, 7 questions on my side. I like number 7, so 7 questions. Is there anything else that you want to add, that you want to say to our friends here about creativity, critical thinking in language learning and language teaching, and anything that can be related to research, action research? These are the topics that I don't know if you had the chance to look at maybe you will in the next few days. I will appreciate it to look at the website dedicated that Simone actually created for the conference. It's a nice website where we have record. We mention all the topics that we will be discussing very soon. Actually, when we watch the video, we would have discussed.
I remember having a really fascinating conversation with a professor from your university, who should be nameless, about his horror at having to do things in English. He was a Bardone, he was a sort of professor in his area, and he felt dreadful about having to try to do things in English, because he knew that the penguin in English, and he was very unhappy in English. And in a sense, what you people in the language centres all around the world are doing, is trying to help people not to be like him. Is trying to help people to feel themselves even in English. And if you would even
or any other language.
Yes, and then it means you're taking away the handicap of not having enough English. And it is a handicap in a scientific area.
Okay. Mario, what can I say? Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for inviting me.
Okay.
I've enormously enjoyed the collaboration between buildings who I used to work for and the University of Calabria. It's been 30 years of pleasure.
Okay. And
except snow.
That's right. You also enjoyed the snow. You experienced it.
About 2 meters.
Yeah, I remember. And it was 30 years of joy for us to have you, contacts with you, and but maybe next time for the next conference you will be with us in person.
Let's see.
We'll see. In Latin, okay. Now you see, I feel little because I don't know Latin at all. Ciao Mario. Un abbraccio anche da Simone che è qui vicino. Bye.
Bye.
You are extra communitarian now, you know?
Not yet.
No. But will you be happy when you will be? That was behind in the backstage. Okay. Thank you for. I hope you enjoyed it. Mario's humor. Liliana, proceedings. Final part, and then we'll get to.
I would like to say that after the conference, we ask you to submit your proposals and your papers ready, and it's a very positive news for us that we will continue the Gotti publisher cooperation with. I think I would just put the message on the website, okay, concerning publications. Requirements, and that you will have a possibility to have your papers published. Gillian, would you like to add?
Yeah, you will find on CercleS website guidelines. Okay, also for the typesetting, everything, and also the mission statement that we have. We are. I'm not certain though for the next issue, as we have renegotiated with De Gruyter for the format, whether we'll be moving into the other format, probably not in next year for the
for the second issue. The papers accepted for language learning in higher education from the conference will be going into the second issue of 2017. We already have 2017 one. The call for papers has been out for quite a while, and we have received submissions for it. I say we, which is no longer we, but it's the next editorial board who will be dealing with them. Okay, so you will find information and also the guidelines of both about how, you know, for the typesetting, the layout and everything, and also what we would like, sort of content-wise.
Thank you, Liliana. Thank you, Gillian. Now we are at the very last part. No clap? No. Final part is, if you lead, as we said, a friendly competition, and we will see what happened with those names in the boxes. But can we start with something that we had prepared for David Little? Maria? Maybe you? Okay. Maybe we forgot, or they forgot, they are the presidents, to mention that last year, you did it last night at the assembly. It's the 25th anniversary.
25 years of CercleS.
We want to show it to the audience. We want David to unwrap it, and let's see what happens.
Just as the suspense of David opening it, can I just say how I finished yesterday after with saying that with these 25 years, mighty oaks from little acorns grow. We have grown from a few members to 352 members. And it's finished now, I don't have to entertain you any longer.
How many years of ELP? This is called a tattoo wall. A tattoo wall. Or then we have something for we have something for Manuel. David, and those collage of the University of Calabria murales. And you need to show it to them. European Language Council. And the collage for you as well. We have something for Liliana. Comincia. You never know. President, CercleS. Okay, we have something for Maurizio Gotti. We know that Maurizio likes Calabrese products a lot. And the college? A box? See? This is local products and the collage. Maurizio vi dirà di che si tratta magari. È curiosissimo. Vuole sciuparlo? Ah. Can you? Però
prodotti della Calabria. Collage. And we have a special something for Gillian. Sì, anche per te. Vieni. This is very special. It's not professional. This is very personal for Jill. Not faccio con nulla. We said the number 3. This is very personal, a special gift from me to her. She knows why. And this is from the University of Calabria.
Scrive libri per bambini. Io avevo portato i primi 2, storia di una matita a scuola di Michele, per far firmare, perché devo fare un regalo a un bambino piccolo. E mi parlava, infatti, ieri sera mi diceva che c'è un terzo. Dimmi il nome.
Eccolo qua.
Perché così lo so. No, non te lo dico, non sono imbarazzato. Ho fatto tutta una... Now I've got it.
Un viaggio in Brasile le premialità alla fine. Le premialità. Nel frattempo volevo chiedere a Giuseppe, mentre noi diamo le premialità, se può mettere la home page del lavoro di ELP che faremo vedere all'intro. Le premialità. Chi è che ha tirato i nomini? Allora abbiamo una premialità per Strand 3, Strand 2, Strand 1 imposters. Strand 3. I have only 2 names, so what a pity. So only 2 names. Vediamo se mi ricordo Catherine Schianca. Are you here? Friendly competition. The audience in this conference said that they liked your presentation, Catherine. Maria ti dà un piccolo premio. Abbiamo, non so se ci siete ancora, Etheridge, ok? Etheridge? No, Etheridge? Lo daremo. Eccolo! Etheridge? Sì! Certo! Ok. So, they said that they enjoyed your presentation. Of course, all the presentations were very, very enjoyable. Strand 2, abbiamo Antonietta Marongiu. C'è! E non c'è. Eccola, Antonietta Marongiu, eccola qua. Insieme c'è Donata Puntilli, è andata via. Proprio da poco, gliel'avremmo dovuto dire. E poi con la Iacono. Ah, che peccato. Glielo direte voi, è proprio il King's College a quel punto. Ok. Andiamo a Strand 1. Abbiamo Del Carmen. Maria del Carmen da Silva, Carlson Amendolara, prego. Un piccolo breve anche per voi. Poi abbiamo Del Carmen da Silva, Carlson Pius, abbiamo Niccolò Banchetti, abbiamo Donato Mortano, che non c'è, mi sa. Ah, ci sei? Prego Donato, prego Banchetti. Andiamo ai poster. Friesler? C'è? Dai! Ti siamo premiati per i poster Friesler. E c'è di nuovo Banchetti a Mono. E poi Gillian Robinson. Se c'è, non so se ci sono. Ok. Ma naturalmente la premialità è per tutti quanti voi. As I said, it was just a friendly competition. But we have some more, so maybe for those of you who are staying, we will give you the rest. Ok. Io ho finito. Passo la parola. I want to give the floor to Liliana if she wants to wrap up the only thing that I would love David to have a look at this homepage. The Language Center, Giuseppe's over there. We have created at the Language Center of the University of Calabria an online version of the ELP for you. If you want to, obviously we don't have time now, but we can talk about this website. And the interesting thing is that Giuseppe, Maria Sasso, Simone Malizia are so much here at the Language Center interested in the European language portfolio. And you know what is particular about it? They are administratives. They're not language people. They are administratives. IT expert, orientation role in the Language Center. And you know, I believe that their curiosity, their interest comes out from students' needs. When they go to the language lab, to the multilingual lab, they want to know more about dealing with the ELP, dealing with, as I said, the awareness of being able to self-evaluate their own competencies. So Giuseppe, Simone, and Maria found out that it was an interesting, how can I say, it was important to give them some tools to enhance their ability and their willingness to self-evaluate their competences. It's not just us, the teachers, who evaluate, but especially when in progress, it is important that they can do it on their own. Liliana.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my time to close the conference. And first of all, I'd like to thank you, Carmen, and all the organizers for fantastic time we are having now and we've had for these 3 days. So please give a big applause again. Thank you, Carmen. Thank you for your hospitality. Thank you for perfect organization. I think we'll have some time, extra time to just look at the surroundings of Calabria in a while, so it will be a fantastic afternoon today as well. I would like to thank you on behalf of the organizers. Yes, there is a special present for Carmen. You should grab it, show us. Yes, we showed our present, so, okay. No. I'd like to, on behalf of organizer, thank our plenary speakers who invited our invitation. So thank you once again. Thank you very much. And of course, I would like to thank all the speakers, presenters, poster presenters, and participants of the conference. This is the first time I have an official ending of the conference. Therefore, I'd like to thank you, former President Gillian Mansfield, once again, and the Executive Board for fantastic preparation, because that was their time to participate in organizational work as well. So thank you, Gillian, and thank you, Executive. Ladies and gentlemen, go home, safe journey. Talk to your teachers, talk to your staff, share ideas, think about publication. Don't forget about European organizations we are in, and let's network for better projects, better workshops and conferences. So thank you. Okay. Former president tells the present president to give a short announcement. The next conference in 2 years' time is in Poznan, Poland, Poznan University of Technology. So cordial invitation to all of you, and I hope there will be some information on webpage. But in the meantime, enjoy your free time teaching, working, doing things you like, so you can find new topics for research, which I hope you will talk to us in 2 years' time. So again, thank you very much, and have a nice afternoon in Calabria.
One more thing, the tattoo walls are, the concept behind it is like a mind map with a key concept. In fact, it was ELP for David, European Language Center, and CercleS for Manuel and Liliana, and then all key expressions around, so that you will always have to think about it. Anyway, and il mio gruppo ha pensato questo per me, è un po' una sorpresa, era per me, e perché sanno che è un'espressione che uso sempre io, looking ahead, e perché quando al centro linguistico abbiamo detto tante belle cose, ma quando al centro linguistico, yes, we do so many interesting things, but the bureaucracy, and then the budget, we have no money, etc., etc. I always tell them, don't worry, let's look ahead, and we will manage. There are some more collages here for you, so since we all want you to be awarded with something, please feel free to come and pick it up for yourself, okay?